What's going on, everybody? Welcome to M Dog Whiskey. I am Matt, and we got a whiskey review for you today. Today, as you can see sitting on the table, we're going to be talking about the High West High Country American Single Malt Whiskey. You see it right here. It's going to be a fresh crack. I've not had this bottle before, and so I'm excited to try it. We're going to drink it with you, see what I think about it. So, going to start by opening it up. If I can see where that is. Dang, there we go, here we go. Got that coming off it. We're gonna pour it up for a fresh crack. Listen to that cork pop. Pretty good, pretty good. So this is coming in at 44% ABV or 88 proof. For those of y'all wondering, and High West is their first release of an American single malt product. They have used single malt in the past with their release of Campfire, but this one is a 85% base malt, 14% caramel 60 malt, and 1% chocolate malt. So real interesting blend, not just a 100% malted barley product. So give it a sniff. Let it open up a little bit. I definitely see that caramel malt coming through. Definitely from the nose right off the bat, you know this is a single malt product, not a bourbon, not a rye. But I really like it, really soft nose. A little bit of dried fruit in there. At 44 proof, it's gonna be a little lower than I typically like to drink. I like to be at that 100 proof plus mark typically, but you know, we're not gonna hold it against them. We're still gonna give an honest review, see what we think. So yeah, some caramel, maybe a little raisin characteristic, a little bit of raisin bread too. You get a little bit breadiness or dough aspect, I feel like, from that malty aspect of it. But yeah, I mean, 88 proof, no volatility, not really any ethanol whatsoever on the nose. Let's give it a sip and see what we think. That's nice. I like it. You know, that kind of caramel raisin-esque characteristic still carries through on the palate. It's got a nice mouthfeel, a bit of oiliness to it, which I like on a whiskey. Really kind of coats your tongue and the palate nicely, and it's got a good finish. Let's go in for a second sip. I enjoy that. It's not a overpowering single malt. I think so many people, when they think of single malt, their mind automatically goes to scotches. Whereas typically, at least in my experience, American single malts they're not as aggressive or overpowering as scotches are. And so I like this. It's not the most complex whiskey in the world. You know, there's a little bit of baking spice as well on the palate. A nice little creaminess too. And a decent level of sweetness. Not the same sweetness you get from a bourbon with that high corn content, but kind of a darker, you know, dried fruit sweetness. Yeah, I enjoy it. I would like to know, I like to see what this bottle drank at 100 proof. Especially because this one's coming in at around that $80 price point. I understand because malting products, or malted barley in particular, is a relatively expensive grain comparative to corn or something like that. So I understand the price point, but at $80 with no age statement that I see or can find anywhere, the 44 proof, I like to see this more at that $60 price range, mid-50s, $60 price range. But overall, it's a good bottle. I enjoy it. I'm sure I'll drink the whole bottle, and I'll also share it with friends in the process. But yeah, I think On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate this bottle a solid 7.5 out of 10. I think it's fun. I think it's great. When I finish this bottle, will I be rushing out to buy another? I'll buy another eventually, but I won't be hunting down my next bottle of this, probably. It's a good bottle. It's a fun bottle. I think if you're getting into American single malts, this would be a good bottle to start out or check out, because it's not too overwhelming on the malty characteristics. I definitely think this is a bottle a bourbon drinker could enjoy. So if you're trying to bridge that gap, this would be a good way to start. So yeah, I'd say I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. And yeah, that'll be my review, my opinion on the High West High Country American Single Malt. Let me know down below in the comments what bottle you'd like to see me review next. And we'll catch you next time at M Dog Whiskey. Cheers, y'all.